Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking shit about iZotope. If you fuck with them, you're not going to fuck with this video, just click off. I paid $500 for Ozone 8, and now that shit won't even open on my Mac. And this isn't just my problem. This is a calculated business strategy that's costing producers thousands of dollars. For you guys who don't know, iZotope is the company behind Ozone, RX, and Neutron. They've perfected the art of planned obsolescence. They've been forcing you to upgrade not because your software is outdated, but because they literally won't let you use the software that you already paid for. This isn't just a situation that's been bugging me. It's a systematic anti-consumer strategy that's bleeding the producer community dry. And today I'm going to break down exactly how they do it, the timeline that proves it's intentional, and also what companies actually treat their customers with respect. And this video isn't going to be all doom and gloom, of course. It's pattern recognition followed by real alternatives. So if you want to know how companies play these games before you get burned, drop a like, subscribe, let's get into it. Okay, so this is my situation. I had bought Ozone 8 Advanced, dropped about $500 on it, and it worked perfectly on my Intel Mac. Professional mastering, used it on a dozen tracks or so, more than a couple dozen, I guess. And then fast forward to now. I got a new MacBook Air. It's running the latest version of Mac, and Ozone 8 won't even launch. And dude, I'm not saying it's running slow or has bugs. I'm saying this shit literally doesn't open on my computer, right? Did I contact Ozone support? No, because I already know what they're gonna tell me. Buy Ozone 11. It's got M1 support. And to be honest, the translation to me is just pay us another $300 for the privilege of using our software that we should have updated. And I'm telling you guys, this shit is not an accident. This is a plan. They intentionally abandon older versions to force you to buy newer versions. And I can prove it, okay? And I'm not even bitter about the price of the upgrade or anything like that. Like, I'm literally just here to call out what it is, because practices like this hurt everybody. This affects bedroom producers who save their money for months just to buy one plugin. When you pay $500 for software, you should expect it to work for a lifetime, and that basic compatibility updates will be included. But iZotope operates on a completely different model. Let's start with the facts. I'm going to show you iZotope's compatibility abandonment pattern and show you that it's systematic, right? So October 2019, macOS Catalina drops. Suddenly, entire product lines become incompatible. Not broken, incompatible. They literally stopped updating them to work with newer operating systems. Their official statement: our former product line is no longer compatible with macOS due to security changes. But here's the thing, right? Other companies like FabFilter and even Waves update their legacy plugins. They're choosing not to. Fast forward to Apple Silicon Macs in 2020. Again, older iZotope products get left behind, no Apple Silicon native support, and many of them won't even run in Rosetta properly. I'm telling you guys, there's no technical limitation, because in between these version updates, like say from Ozone 8 to 9, there's minimal changes to the actual plugin. We know this isn't a technical limitation, and they're just doing this. And they've literally admitted it, right? Some older products will not be updated to include native support. That is a quote from iZotope. And the translation is buy new versions or get fucked. Real shit. Now, we compare this to FabFilter, who has maintained backwards compatibility for their products going back over a decade. Their Pro 1 from 2010 still gets compatibility updates in 2024. And that's how you treat customers who have invested in your ecosystem. But iZotope publishes compatibility charts that look like obituaries. Product after product marked discontinued, no longer supported, and will not receive update. The pattern is clear as day. Release the product, have your customers invest, new OS launches, abandon old product, and then force everybody to upgrade to the new version. Repeat. It's planned obsolescence disguised as innovation. And it gets even worse, because in October of 2022, they discontinued Iris 2, Break Tweaker, and Trash 2 all at once, not because the plugins were broken, but because they wanted to focus resources on new products. And here they are again, playing with the language, right? Focus research. Translation: it's more profitable to abandon existing customers and chase new sales than to maintain products that people have already paid for. Now let's talk about what bothers me the most about this, right? And it's their release acceleration. This is where the money grab has started to become completely obvious. Now let's talk about how fast they release updates. We have it so that they're releasing new versions of Ozone every 1 to 2 years. And each time they promote some new revolutionary features that could have been updates to existing versions of the software, right? So here's what's really happening. Instead of substantial updates to existing products, they package minor improvements as full version releases to justify new purchase prices. Look at Ozone 11's new features. STEM focus, clarity module, updated interface. Like, that shit could have been like a 10.5 update. Like, it's not worth a new version of Ozone. Compare this to other industries where, like, even Adobe, who I hate, they release major Creative Suite updates annually, but at the very least they come with your subscription to the cloud service. And Pro Tools as well, like, they add features throughout the year, but for iZotope, for some reason, every new feature we have to buy the entirely new version of Ozone, and I don't understand it. Also, I can't help but think that they're playing with people's psychology a little bit and timing their releases right after major OS updates. Like, your current version of Ozone breaks with a new version of Mac OS. Like, are you telling me that this isn't planned? Nah, it's manufacturer dependency. Guys, it gets even worse. This got a lot more worse in 2023 when iZotope got acquired by Native Instruments. They were then pushed into a umbrella company called Soundwide with private equity backing and a profit maximization focus. Immediately after this acquisition, 8% of workforce layoffs in January of 2003, which is like classic private equity move: cut costs, minimize short-term profits, and squeeze the customers' heads. This consolidation strategy is very obvious, and I see that they're trying to force all the brands onto unified platforms, bundle everything together, and push paid subscription models. That way you can't just buy Ozone anymore, and it seems that they want you to focus on buying their Music Production Suite Pro $20 a month package. Is this real? Hold on, I have to fact check this. Sweet. Is this serious? No, it's actually dead ass. What the fuck? And yeah, guys, like, the consolidation strategy is so obvious. Like, they want to force all the brands onto a unified platform, bundle everything together, and push their subscription. That way you can't just buy Ozone anymore, and you're forced to buy Native 360 or whatever it's called at $20 or however much it costs forever, right? This is literally the Netflix model applied to audio plugins so that they can get you hooked on the ecosystem, and then you're just trapped paying monthly for tools that you used to own outright. And the crazy part is they like retroactively discontinued products right after the acquisition. So Iris 2, Break Tweaker, and Trash 2 were all killed in 2022, literally as soon as Soundwide was consolidating. This was never about product quality or user demand. These were working functional plugins with active user bases that were eliminated to simplify their portfolio and force users onto subscription-based alternatives. Let me show you how other companies are actually supporting their customers, because this isn't inevitable. So the first company I'm gonna shout out here is FabFilter. Their ProQ from 2010 still gets compatibility updates as far as I know. 14 years of support, and they literally maintain installers for macOS going back to the PowerPC days. So yeah, that's customer loyalty right there. And when FabFilter released ProQ4, it didn't break ProQ3, which I know because I use ProQ3 sometimes. Both versions can coexist, while old projects will load perfectly and your investment is protected. That's how you do business. Waves. Now, say what you want about their update plans, but they do maintain compatibility for the plugins so that they work on modern systems. So they might still charge for major updates, but they don't abandon your investment. Even their business model is far more honest than whatever the fuck we got going on with Native. Pay for updates or stay on the version that works. No forced subscriptions, no artificial compatibility breaking. Plugin alliance, massive catalog, constant sales. But here's the key: they don't break your existing plugins just to sell new ones. Your purchases from 2019 still work in 2024. As far as I know, if you've had problems with them, please let people know in the comments. The difference is philosophy. These companies see customers as long-term relationships, and iZotope sees them as conversion opportunities. iZotope's approach is, let's break the old version so people have to upgrade. And this is why, like, honestly, I switched my workflow away from iZotope, and it's not because the sound quality is bad or their plugins are shit, it's because their business practices are shit. Let's talk about what this actually costs the music producer community, right? The average iZotope user probably spends like $1,000+ over the years on different plugins, Ozone, RX, Nectar, and maybe a few others. I know personally I used to use Neutron as well as iZotope 8, and I even got those bundled together. But yeah, now just imagine 30 to 50% of that investment going down the drain because your plugin is unusable in 4 years due to compatibility issues. That's not depreciation, that's literally theft, and you're not getting 3 to 4 years of value and then choosing to upgrade. You're literally just being forced off software that should work. And then we have independent producers who may be saving up for these plugins and they'll have it stop working when they update their computer. Like, that's not just money, that's trust. Like, they trusted iZotope to support their investment with updates. And this creates a toxic cycle because you start avoiding OS updates because you can't afford to replace new plugins, and your system becomes outdated, insecure, and incompatible with new software. Either that or you pay the ransom, upgrade to their subscription model where you pay more over 2 years than you would have paid for a permanent license, and you never own anything again. And that's why I keep saying it's anti-consumer and not just bad business, because it's predatory. Okay, so what's the solution? How do you get professional results without feeding this machine? For mastering, I would look at the FabFilter plugins, Pro Q4, Pro L2, and Pro C2. Total cost is around $500, give or take, almost around the same price as the iZotope bundle. But the difference is they'll still likely work in 2030 unless FabFilter starts doing bullshit. And then I guess we're all just like kind of fucked. But yeah, for audio repair, we have Waves Clarity VX, which costs $35. It handles 90% of what RX can do for most producers. And if you need heavy restoration, I guess you do have to kind of bite the bullet on RX, but know what you're getting into, right? For vocal processing, I recommend Waves, Plugin Alliance, or even the stock plugins in your DAW. The key is diversification. Don't build your workflow around one company who's going to hold your tools hostage. And yeah, that's all for today. And here's what I want you to take away from this, right? Your money is your vote. Every time you buy software, you're supporting that company's business model, and iZotope's model is clear. Planned obsolescence, force upgrades, subscription dependency, and to be honest, if you're cool with that, just keep buying it. But understand what you're signing up for. If you want to support companies that actually support you, research their track record, look at how they treat customers who bought their products 5 to 10 years ago, because that's your future. If you've made it this far, drop a comment below letting me know what your worst experience is with these software companies. Let me know what companies you trust with your money. And yeah, let's build a community that supports ethical business practices. If this opened your eyes to the game behind the game, drop me a subscription, because I like to expose industry practices that cost producers their money. Peace. What's up, guys? I just wanted to thank y'all for watching the video and let y'all know that I have a Patreon available. Over there, I have an hour-long session of me recording a song from scratch, and that's over there for free. Also, for people who want to take stuff to the next level, I have a paid membership option with exclusive loot kits, drum kits, updates for my Enter the Void kit, live stream replays for my Instagram lives, solo sessions, 30% off beats. I'm shouting out members in my videos, and I'm also giving them early access to videos, beat song feedback. I got 4 unreleased albums and early song releases. So if that's something you would like, go ahead and head on over to the Patreon and check it out. There's a link in the description. Thanks for watching the video once again, and I'll catch you in the next one.